My name is Ryan Zhou. I'm the co-founder and COO of CoinJar, Australia's leading Bitcoin company. I've been a Bitcoiner for 3 years. I have previously started the world's first margin trading platform for Bitcoin. CoinJar is Australia's leading Bitcoin platform. We have wallet services on web and mobile, and we also provide an exchange service for consumers to easily buy and sell their Bitcoins. In our first 12 months of operations, we have helped over 22,000 consumers in Australia to buy and sell over 40 million Australian dollars worth of Bitcoins. We are incredibly proud of our success in turning Australia into one of the leading countries in the world in terms of Bitcoin adoption, and we have many more exciting and interesting announcements to make in the next few months.
So in Australia in 1966, we moved from silver in our coins to copper nickel, basically valueless coinage. This is a 1966 50-cent piece. It was the last coin in regular circulation in Australia to contain silver. It contains 80% silver, which is roughly a third of an ounce. So in 1966, this was 50 cents. But when, nowadays at $22 an ounce, it's $8 roughly in silver alone. So you can see the purchasing power of this 50-cent piece has up 16 times, whereas the purchasing power of a regular 50-cent piece has stayed the same. So it's kind of obvious to anybody who actually looks at what happened to our coins that something's gone wrong. In 1910, Australia got their first their own coins. Up until then we were using British coins. Our first coins were 92.5% silver. So from 1910 all the way through to 1945, they remained at this sterling silver, and that's where the pound sterling phrase comes from. From 1946 to 1966, when this little baby came out, they were reduced to 50%. So they devalued the silver precious metal content of their money by half nearly. And partly you could explain a lot of that by the fact that we had just finished the Second World War. But in 1966, we moved from pounds, shillings and pence to dollars and cents, and they used that opportunity to get rid of silver completely from our coins. So we went from 50% silver to coins that looked exactly the same, had exactly the same weight, had the same colours, but contained no silver at all. So this is governments taking our money, moving us from commodity-based money to valueless fiat currency.
So we published a paper in the journal Addiction earlier this year, and so that was about from the Global Drug Survey. So we had over 1,000 drug users who had used Silk Road to purchase drugs. And what we found was that the majority of those people were male. The majority of them were in their sort of early 20s, so that was around the group. We were looking specifically at English-speaking backgrounds, so that was all we captured. And the majority of those people were buying traditionally illicit drugs, ecstasy, cannabis, those sorts of drugs. There were also some people buying the newer psychoactives, so say 2CB and other, I guess there was one called 25I-N-Bone, which was particularly popular. So this group, the main reasons why they use Silk Road were actually quite congruent with the reasons why people use e-commerce more generally. So they were specifically interested in the convenience, greater range, better quality, the capacity to rate vendors. So these things, you could apply that to eBay or any other Amazon, that kind of thing. So it was less about drugs per se and more about e-commerce, I think, in the end.
My name's Nicholas Gruen. I'm the CEO of Lateral Economics, Chairman of the Australian Centre for Social Innovation and the Open Knowledge Foundation Australia chapter. Bitcoin is could be a microeconomic miracle worker, and it could be a macroeconomic wrecking ball. So I don't look forward to the idea of Bitcoin displacing government-backed money. I look forward to the idea of Bitcoin supplementing government-backed money and disrupting and disintermediating the bloated fat ticks of the financial system. But I don't have a kind of millennial dream that we're going to take government out of the role of money provision because governments are the only thing we have. They are collective activity, and governments are needed to address what would otherwise be collective euphoria and collective despair, which will otherwise characterise the market, and always did characterise the market when we were subject to exogenous money, that is, money from outside government, when we were operating according to the gold standard.
In the fall of 2008, the world financial system nearly fell apart because of the incompetence and instability of the banking system.
With Bitcoin, anyone can send and receive any amount of money anywhere in the world, basically for free. And there's nothing that the big banks or politicians can do to stop it.
At the Money 2020 conference, there was a Bitcoin panel where 4 Bitcoiners were speaking, and behind me were executives and chairmen of a board of several different credit unions. And one turned to the other and said, "These guys don't know the true meaning of evil till we fuck them."
You see, I just want your cash.